Good evening. Okay, we're going to get started. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Leonard Kaiser. I'm the Dean of Engineering Technologies here at Forsyth Tech. And this is a very special day for us at Forsyth Tech to honor Mr. Hughes. But first of all, I would like to recognize the family members that are with us. And first of all, Mr. Hughes, his wife of 63 years, Virginia Lady. Now that's a celebration within itself, 63 years. Congratulations. We have the three children here. Patty Stone, Patty, if you raise your hand, and her husband John. John is standing over here. Mary Beth Hughes, Mary Beth. Dr. Charles Bruce Hughes, Dr. Hughes. And they have 7 grandchildren, and I think 2 of them are here, Jay and Thomas. Jay and Thomas, Jay and Thomas. And this is the unbelievable part. There's 7 grandchildren, and 2 of them are here, Jack and Caitlin. Jack, Caitlin. The next generation. Well, we welcome all the board members, the past and the present, and we welcome all of our visitors here, our special guests, and so on. Mr. Ed Welch, our chairperson of the Board of Trustees, couldn't be here, and he wanted to make sure that he gave his regrets to the family. But we do have the vice chair of the Board of Trustees, Alan Proctor. He not only is the vice chair of the board, but he's a senior vice president of commercial banking at Wells Fargo. Mr. Proctor.
Thank you very much. Well, Mr. Hughes, I am very honored to be here today to honor you, as you are, this whole group is, and to represent the Board of Trustees for the service that you've had. You played a huge role in shaping this college over your tenure. Mr. Hughes was appointed to the Board of Trustees in 1990. He served 6 consecutive terms of 4 years. If you do your math right, I think that's 24 years, isn't it, Gordon? That's 24 years. That's a good long time. He also served as chair of the Board of Trustees from 1992 to 1999, and has served as vice chair prior to that as well. Gordon has served on all the different committees here on the board, including finance, building and grounds, personnel. Most recently, I was involved within the personnel committee and the building and grounds committee. Forsyth has grown significantly over his tenure. You think about the enrollment and how it's changed. Dr. Green could probably give you some more specifics around that. But it's grown also and just in the amount of facilities that we have, but more importantly, more of the significance and influence in the community. A lot of that is from the leadership from great folks like Mr. Hughes here. So we're very honored to have the honorees today. The locations that we've that have been underneath this tenure that were Forsyth expanded include the Maisie Woodruff Center in the northeast section of Winston-Salem, the Swisher Center in Kernersville, the Northwest Forsyth Center in King, and the Transportation and Technology Center. In addition, on this campus right here, the college has expanded through the Technology Building, Bob Green Hall, and the Oak Grove Center. In a letter written by Dr. Bob Green on July 6, 1994, he stated, Gordon, you have been and will continue to be a real asset to Forsyth Tech. Thank you for finding time in your busy schedule to serve the college. That was 20 years ago, and you continue to have made an impact over that 20 years. And we thank you for your service on the Board of Trustees on behalf of the college. So thank you. I'd like to introduce to Dr. Green, who will have some additional comments. So thank you.
Thank you, Alan. Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to also thank all of you for being here, particularly members of the Hughes family, our guests of honor, Gordon and Virginia. It's always great to have you here. You will always be a part of the Forsyth Tech family while you're here, but we're really pleased to have the Hughes family with us, and so many guests from the community. Thank all of you for being here and being a part of this special day. Gordon Hughes served his country from 44 to 46 in the U.S. Navy. And when he came back, he went to the University of Wyoming where he pursued a degree in electrical engineering, BS in electrical engineering. He received that degree in 1950. That starts to date you a little bit, Gordon. And then he went to the University of Kentucky. And I remember when I interviewed that University of Kentucky we had many good conversations about University of Kentucky from that connection that we had, attending graduate classes there in 50 and 51. But one of Virginia's favorite stories is that he went to UK to get his master's and ended up with his MRS instead. They met, and he was also recruited by Western Electric, who made him an offer he couldn't refuse. And so he went to work, and Gordon and Virginia got married September 2nd, 1951. He went to work for Western Electric in 51 and retired in 1989 after 38 years of service to that great company. In addition to Gordon's service to Forsyth Tech that Alan delineated so well, he's been involved in a lot of other activities and a lot of other service to our community. He's a member of the Lions Club as director and committee chair, the American Red Cross as a director and a committee chair, the Northwest North Carolina Development Association as a director, Civil Preparedness Council, the chairman of that organization, honorary scholastic organizations, Sigma Tau, Sigma Pi Sigma, and Eta Kappa Nu. He's a member of the American Production and Inventory Control Society, or APEX, the Emergency Management Advisory Committee, where he served as chair, and the Greater Winston-Salem Chamber of Commerce Education Council. And we're here to celebrate all of those things in addition to the wonderful contribution that he has made to Forsyth Tech. But we're also here to talk about the connection that Gordon has to what is one of the very important programs at Forsyth Tech. Our electronics engineering technology program here is nationally certified by the Accreditation Board of Engineering and Technology, or ABET, one of the only programs in the state with that designation. And our computer engineering technology program just went through its accreditation review. We have 103 students that we're serving in these programs today. And as they complete these programs, they're going to work throughout our community. In places like Wells Fargo, Reynolds American, Federal Express, ERG, Inmar, are hiring these graduates, and they are making a contribution to our community and through their work supporting themselves and supporting their families. Incidentally, Dale Boujon, and Dale is with us. Dale is our department chairman for this area. Dale also has a background in engineering, and Dale worked for Western Electric when Gordon was there. So he's been working for Gordon for a long time. We have great leadership here, and in part because of that connection we have with Western Electric. But the real success of our programs, and this program, is our students' success. I'll just tell you about one student that we have that is graduating. We have a Chief Petty Officer in the U.S. Coast Guard who is graduating this year. He served on active duty for 15 years, and like so many other veterans, we are serving them in our community. He was told by the Coast Guard when he graduated that they would support him only coming to Forsyth Tech because we have a certified, accredited engineering, electronic engineering technology program. After graduation, he'll go to work for Lockheed Martin. Again, preparing for careers, kinds of things that Gordon has been such a strong advocate for so many years at Forsyth Tech. On a personal note, I want to thank Gordon for his support over the last 13 years that I have had the honor to be president here and to serve with him and under him. As someone who has led large, complex organizations, such as we have had Western Electric, someone who knew the importance of technical education to prepare for the workforce of the future, I've benefited greatly from this work. And just one brief anecdote with that. A few years ago, I had written a letter that I shared with the board, and it was about one of our community issues. And I was kind of frustrated at that time. And I just gave the copy of the letter to the board. And after the board meeting, Gordon came in my office to see me. He said, you know, something that I learned a long time ago was that sometimes you write a letter like this, and it's really good to get your thoughts down on paper, then put it in your desk overnight, look at it the next day. And what good advice from someone who's been in the position of leadership and has so much to share with others. I have always done that since then, and I have told each of our vice presidents that story to support their development of will. It's a great honor for us to be able to recognize Gordon today by naming our department the Gordon B. Hughes Electronics and Computer Engineering Technology Program. And want you to join all of us in congratulating Gordon B. Hughes. Gordon, if you will join me and Alan, we'd like to do a little unveiling here.
An advantage of getting older is that you tend to rely on younger people.
I like that. I'll step around here. We can actually just kind of take this down.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Gordon, you'd like to say a few words?
Mary Beth is a crier in our
I think we all are today.
First, I need to thank the board for bestowing on me this honor. And Gary, if I can borrow your sheets of music here.
Yes.
No, sometimes I have an opportunity to thank the community. And all the support that they've given me over the many years. Debbie, you're one of them. Let's see. What else was I supposed to say? This is a great honor, and it certainly is to me to be so honored that you all would name a program for me. And that's about it.
Again, I want to thank the family for being here. We have a small token, commemorative token, for each of Gordon and Virginia's children and grandchildren. It's a small desk plaque that was actually made by our students with our 3D printer. Mayor, you trust me to hold one of those for a minute? Or you yeah. And we'd like for each, again, the children and grandchildren to have that as a memento of today. And in this. We also would ask, we have a video camera set up in 332, which is right down the hall on the left. And we would invite particularly former board members and others who have worked with Gordon to sit down and add any remembrance they would like to, and we'll make then that video available to the members of the family as well, and to Gordon in Virginia for them to have to keep. Then finally we have refreshments, and invite you to tour the department area up here. Our labs, our classrooms, our faculty are all here and can talk to you and share the work that we're doing here now, and the work that we will do in the future to honor Gordon. Thank you all very much for coming and being part of this festival.
Hi, Gordon. This is Andrea Keppel. I'm so glad to have the opportunity today to talk about some of the things that we have experienced together while we have served on the board here at Forsyth Tech. I do recall that right off the bat, whenever I was the new kid on the block, and we had a board retreat, and I finally got a chance to meet, different board members close up. I was so impressed with your intelligence, with all the well-thought answers that you had. I don't know what I thought that up to that point, but I was more than impressed. And I want to tell you that I think that you are the smartest man, except for my father. And I think part of that is because he's an engineer also. I think you fellas are totally unique individuals, different way of thinking and a different way of expressing yourself. I wanted to also tell you how impressed I have been throughout the years of your recall of statistics. That anything that happens, they can be giving a report on the finances, could be giving something on the air conditioning heating system that's going to be put in a new building, and you recall exactly what was said 2 and 3 and 4 years previously as to what we were going to do, what the numbers were, and even it may be that you have to go back and look a little bit, but you always come up with that right answer. You just think beyond the here and now, way beyond. It's that engineer mind, I think. The other thing is, when choosing a college president, you remember all the fellows and women that we interviewed, you always had that one special question, which was how they felt about the University of Kentucky and their basketball program. Of course, Kentucky always has somebody in the top basketball numbers. And I'm just so glad that we were able to choose Dr. Green, who is a Kentuckian. Otherwise, we might have been having to teach some gal from Boston our Southern ways. And that might have been pretty tough down here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I wanted you to know what a good tag team you and I made. We always sat beside each other at the board meetings, and particularly most recently, whenever you needed to leave your chair, you would just lean over and kind of smack my arm or touch my arm. That meant, Andrea, it's your turn to take over the meeting. Or, Andrea, it's your turn to make the motion. Or, Andrea, it's time to second that motion. Whatever it was to keep the two of us on our toes at all times. And I kind of miss that. You were my buddy in the board meetings, and I really appreciated that kind of thing. Lastly, I wanted to thank you and Virginia for treating me like family. When we would go on the national convention trips, you two always, always included me in everything. And here I was, the one without a spouse, attending these meetings. But you made sure that we had meals together and we had laughed together. We had a lot of good times together. Thank you for doing that kind of thing. Made me feel at home. You are truly a Kentucky Colonel, and your lovely Virginia truly a gracious Southern belle. And I thank you so much. I want you to enjoy your retirement. Bye-bye.
Gordon, this message is to you personally, from me. I have admired you the whole time we worked on the board together. You were my mentor, and you were chairman of the boards for 7 years before I came on as chairman, and that was because I kept saying, no, I don't think I can do that. And you kept saying, yes, you can. And I said, well, take it one more year and maybe I'll be ready. And so he kept advising me and giving me some guidance. And Gordon, you finally got through to me, and I thoroughly enjoyed the 5 years that I served as chairman following you, and it was only because of your help. We've traveled together on many trips, Virginia and you, and Fred and I, and we had some wonderful times. Even if we did lose your car once that you loaned us, but I think that had something to do with Robert. And so we wish you the best. We love you, and you have a beautiful family, and congratulations on this award. And every time we look at the sign, we'll think of you. And take care and be safe and be happy. Thank you.
Hi, Gordon. When I came on the board in 1992, you'd already been on for 2 years, and for the next 22 years we served together. It was my pleasure to observe you and your graceful style, the depth of knowledge that you brought to the college, to the board, the steady hand that you exhibited in helping us through the many changing times on the board, through the 3 presidents that you and I served with together. It was just a wonderful experience for someone like me who was joining a board with some experience, but really growing and learning from tutelage of folks like you. And then eventually I became the chair of the board, and you supported that activity on my part, and I'm forever grateful for that. And when we recognized you at your last board meeting, I said, and I meant that, your involvement on the board, the way that you carried yourself, demonstrated to all of us how we should act and behave as members of the board. And the dedication that you exhibited was an inspiration to me, and I'm sure the other board members, in terms of what we should do as members of the board. You truly loved, and you truly love Forsyth Tech, and wanted to make sure that only the best came out of this institution. And with your efforts, that occurred during your tenure, and we pledged to keep that effort into the future. I thank you for your friendship, and I thank you for your guidance. I wish you well. Take care. God bless.
Mr. Hughes, this is Representative Deborah Conrad, although I know you will always know me as Debbie. It was an honor to be here today for the dedication here at Forsyth Tech. It was an honor the entire time that I was on the Forsyth County Board of Commissioners to vote for you to serve another term on the Forsyth Tech Board of Trustees. It's great to see all your children here. You know that your daughter Patty and I were together at Whitaker Elementary School all the way through graduating at Wake Forest University. So I've certainly known you and your family for a long time, and it's such a pleasure to be able to be here today and be part of this wonderful celebration. And thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of it.
I prepared a speech. I didn't know if I was going to be giving it out there or not, just in case Dad wasn't able to say anything or wanted to say anything. I had something prepared. So I think I will use this opportunity to do that. Our family wants to thank you, the Forsyth Tech Board and everyone at Forsyth Tech, for this huge honor that you have bestowed on our father, husband, grandfather, and Gigi Daddy. The importance of an education is a principle that our father and mother have always adhered to. Growing up, there was never a question if we would go to college. It was a given, understood that we would. He put all three of his children through college, he himself going to the University of Wyoming on the GI Bill after serving in the Navy in World War II. He then went to the University of Kentucky, and as our mother is fond of saying, he went to get his master's, but instead he got his missus. They moved to Winston-Salem in 1953 and quickly adopted Wake Forest as their own. Over the years, they have been loyal supporters of these three colleges. So it was very easy and natural for our father to step into the role of a board member for Forsyth Tech upon his retirement from Western Electric all those years ago. He took the honor and position seriously with the same dedication and loyalty that he shows to everything that he is passionate about, and with education being paramount. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but knowing my dad, I bet he never missed a single meeting, just like he never missed a day of work when he worked at Western Electric. I want to repeat that. He never missed a day of work in the, I'm going to say 38 years that he worked for Western Electric, okay? Never was sick, never played hooky, never took a mental health day. He went to work every day, and that is an amazing amount of dedication and commitment. And also knowing my dad, I bet he was never late for a meeting either. Our family, many of whom are here today, would like to thank you again from the bottom of our hearts for honoring Dad's dedication, loyalty, and commitment to education in this way. There is no one who is more deserving. May many students' lives be enriched through the Gordon B. Hughes Electronics and Computer Engineering Technology Department. Thanks. Way to go, Dad.
I am Mary Beth's older sister, and I'm so proud of her for her speech. I ditto everything she said. She's exactly right in Dad's dedication and promptness and work ethic. And I know he gave us all to Forsyth Tech, and we are all so proud of him and proud to have this honor bestowed on him. Thank you.
Hi, Dad. I just want to say how proud I am of you for all that you've done here at Forsyth Tech, and in fact for all that you've done throughout my life with you in instilling in me a respect for higher education and of service to the community. I really have learned a lot from you, and I just want to say thank you.
Congratulations, Grandpa. This is from Caden Stone, John Warren Stone IV, which is Ivy, Jack Stone, Lillian Lake Stone, which is also known as Lulu, Georgia Cunningham, Lena Bundrick, and Monroe Cottrell. Congratulations again.
Hey, my name is Jay Stone. I'm Gordon Hughes' grandson, and I just wanted to say that I'm very proud of you, but I do think Forsyth Tech should have named a pyrotechnics department after you, based on our 1988 family reunion when you were setting off fireworks and the authorities came down the beach, and you quickly grabbed your bundle of fireworks and ran through the sand dunes. So congratulations. It's too bad they don't have a pyrotechnics department. Thanks.
Gordon is delighted to see you again, and I know that it's been quite a while since we were on the board together, and it's one of those things that happens in life, I guess. We get a little aged and they say it's time to move on. I just enjoyed the time you and I had together. We did a lot of good things. I feel like that may have left a little bit of history with all of those chairmen we nominated and vice chairman. And as it turned out, they were pretty good. We had very few zingers. Most of them were really good. But it was enjoyable you and I brought the first woman president in here, and that had a lot to do with the growth of the school. And I had Mike Wells to call me one day, and as you know, he was in the opposite persuasion, and he complimented me on being broad-minded enough to go out and be I guess, willing to bring in a woman president. And I think that was showing a lot of growth that needed to be brought to the campus. Anyhow, I wish you the very, very best, that you enjoy life and have a good things in the future. I'm delighted to have met your family, and most of them I knew, but some I didn't. But anyhow, you take care and have a good life. Thank you.
Gordon, again, this is Alan Proctor. I'm Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees now, and I have the pleasure of serving with you on the Board of Trustees for 5, maybe 6 years now. I want to thank you for a couple of things. First off, you were one of the first people to welcome me very graciously onto the board. And really in every meeting that we're at, you were one of the most friendly people, the most welcoming people, and always made me feel like my input, what I had to say was welcome as well. And the second thing I'd like to say is, in our board meetings, we sometimes had some spirited discussions. They were all professional and nice, but typically towards the end of it, you would step in and have a few wise comments to say and some reflections on it. And everyone really took your comments very seriously, and you really seemed to help the group to come to consensus and build consensus on the board. And so I just want to thank you for those two things that you personally I've witnessed, but also just thank you for your length of service on the board. 24 years is a very long time, and you've done a lot to impact this college. So thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you around. Take care.
I want to congratulate Gordon Hughes on 24 years of exemplary service to Forsyth Tech, and on having the Electronics and Computer Engineering Technology program named in his honor. Gordon's commitment to Forsyth Tech has been unsurpassed. I've had the pleasure and the honor of working with him for the past 13 years as president here. And I must say that I have learned so much myself from him, that he has been a good mentor and a great role model of leadership throughout this college and throughout this community. Going back to his days with AT&T, with Western Electric, so many people right here in the Forsyth Tech community talk about having worked with Gordon during those days, and the exemplary leadership that he showed in the plant at all times, that he was always speaking to everyone, making everyone feel like that they mattered. He did that as a board member. He did that, and he coached others to do that as well. And it's particularly appropriate that we have named this program for Gordon, because it's his area. Gordon received his bachelor's in electrical engineering and did graduate work in electrical engineering prior to coming to Winston-Salem. And it was his field. And as much as any other of our Board of Trustee members over the last 24 years, he knew this area, he knew this field, he knew this technology, and contributed that expertise as he talked with the president, as he talked with other leaders of the college, and talked with others in the community. So Gordon, congratulations. We're honored to have had you as a part of Forsyth Tech, and you will always be a part of the Forsyth Tech family, and the Gordon B. Hughes Electronics and Computer Engineering program will attest to that. Congratulations.